Just breaking bottles. Looks like this time I'm going full throttle. Leave your hair untied, put on your dress. I'll pack the pistol in my vest. Look at all the mess we've made and all the hell we've raised. Maybe I'm to blame, but ain't it free? Baby, I'm what the people say. Honey, I'm here to stay. If not today, hang in there, babe.
Let fame, that all hunt after in their lives, live registered upon our brazen tombs, and then grace us in the disgrace of death, when, spite of cormorant devouring time, the endeavor of this present breath may buy that honor which shall bait his scythe's keen edge, and make us heirs of all eternity. Therefore, brave conquerors, for so you are, that war against your own affections, and the huge army of the world's desires, our dorm shall be a little academe, still and contemplative in living art. You three, Barone, Dumaine, and Longaville, have sworn for 3 years' term to live with me, my fellow scholars, and to keep those statutes which are recorded in this schedule here. Your oaths are passed, and now subscribe your names, that his own hand may strike his honor down that violates the smallest branch herein.
I am resolved. 'Tis but a 3 years' fast. The mind shall banquet, though the body pine.
To love, to wealth, to pump, I pine and die, with all these living in philosophy.
Barone?
There's so much I have already sworn. That is to live and study here 3 or 4 years. But there are other strict observances, as not to see a woman in that term, which I hope well is not enrolled there. But 1 day in a week to touch no food, which I hope is not enrolled there. And to sleep at 3 hours in the night, which I hope well is not enrolled there. These are barren tasks and too hard to keep. Not to see ladies, study, fast, not sleep.
You swore to that, Barone, and to the rest.
Well, by yea and nay, sir, then I swore in jest. What is the end of study? Let me know.
Why, that to know which else we should not know.
Things hidden barred, you mean, from common sense.
Aye, that is study's godlike recompense.
Well, come on then. I will swear to study so, to know the thing I am forbid to know, as thus to study where I well may dine, when I to feast expressly am forbid. Or study where to meet some mistress fine, when mistresses from common sense are hid. Or swear too hard to keep, I'll study to break it, and not break my troth. If study's gain be thus, and this be so, study knows that which yet it doth not know. Swear me to this, I'll ne'er say no.
These be the stops that hinder study quite, and train our intellects to vain delight.
But all delights are vain, and that most vain, which with pain purchased doth inherit pain. I mean, as painfully to pore upon a book to seek the light of truth, while truth the while doth falsely blind the eyesight of his look. Light seeking light, doth light of light beguile. So ere you find where light and darkness lies, your light grows dark by the losing of your eyes. Study me how to please the eye indeed, by fixing it upon a fairer eye, who dazzling so that I shall be as he, then give him the light that it was blinded by.
How well he's read to reason against reading.
Proceeded well to stop all good proceeding.
Well, sit you out then. Go home, Barone. Adieu.
Well, no, my lord, I've sworn to stay with you. Give me the paper. Let me read the same. To the strictest decrees, I will write my name.
How well this yielding rescues thee from shame.
Okay, that item. That no woman shall come within a mile of my court. Hath this been proclaimed?
4 days ago.
Item. If any man be seen to talk with a woman within the term of 3 years, he shall endure such public shame as the rest of the dorm can possibly devise. This article, my liege, yourself must break. For well you know, here comes an embassy, the Greg R.A., now Princess of France for Charity Week, well known and loved by all, and about to surrender up of our new cues. Therefore, this article is made in vain, or else vainly comes the admired princess hither.
What say you, lords? Why, this was quite forgot. We must of force dispense with this decree. She must lie here on mere necessity.
Necessity will make us all forsworn 3,000 times within these 3 years' space. For every man with his effects is born, not by might mastered, but by special grace. But although I seem so loath, I do believe I am the last that will last keep his oath. Okay. There you go. But is there no quick recreation granted?
Aye, that there is. Our dorm, you know, is haunted with a refined traveller of Spain, a man in all the world's new fashion planted that hath a mint of phrases in his brain. How you delight, my lords, I know not I, but I protest I love to hear him lie, and I will use him for my amusement.
Our motto is a most illustrious wight, a man of fire new words, fashion's own knight.
Co-star the swain, and he shall be our sport. So to study 3 years is but short.
Which one of you is the RA?
He's the RA. What would you?
Senior Arm commends you. There's villainy abroad. This letter will tell you more.
Sir, the contempts thereof is touching me.
A letter from the magnificent Armado.
The matter is concerning of Jacquinetta, and the manner is, well, I was taken with the manner.
In what manner, sir?
Well, in manner and form following, sir, all those three. I was seen with her in the manor house, sitting with her on the form, and taken after her into the forest, which, put together, is in manner and form following. Now, for the manner, it is the manner of a man to talk to a woman, and for the form, well, in some form.
The form following, sir?
As it shall follow in my correction, and God defend the right.
Will you hear this letter with attention?
As we would hear an oracle.
Such is the simplicity of a man to hearken after the flesh.
Great deputy, the Welkin's vicegerent and sole dominator of Teresa, my soul's earth's god and body's fostering patron.
Not a word of costard yet.
As I am a gentleman, betook myself to walk, the time when, about the 6th hour, so much for the time when, now for the ground which I mean I walked upon, it is yclept the Mall. Then for the place where, I mean I did encounter that obscene and most preposterous event, it standeth northeast of the tower, and by east from the west corner of thy curious lion statue.
The lion statue?
There did I see that low-spirited swain, that base minnow of thy mirth.
Me?
That unlettered, small-knowing soul.
Me?
That shallow vassal.
Still me.
Which, as I remember, hight costard.
Oh, me.
Sorted and consorted, contrary to thy established proclaimed edict and continent canon, which with, but with this I passion to say wherewith.
With a wench!
With a child of our grandmother Eve, a female, or for thy more sweet understanding, a fromer. Him I have sent to thee to receive the meed of punishment by thy sweet grace's officer, Antonia Dull, a woman of good repute, carriage, bearing, and estimation.
Excuse me?
For Jacquinetta, so is the weaker vessel called, which I apprehended with the aforesaid swain, I keep her as a vessel of thy law's fury. Thine, in all compliments of devoted and heart-burning heat of duty, Don Adriano de Armado.
Well, this is not as well as I'd hoped for, but this is the best I have ever heard.
Aye, the best, for the worst. Oh, but Sarah, what say you to this?
Sir, oh, I confess the wench.
Did you hear the groundhog oath?
Oh, I confess much of the hearing of it, but little of the marking of it.
It was proclaimed a year's imprisonment to be taken with a wench.
I was taken with none, sir. I was taken with a damsel.
Well, it was proclaimed damsel.
Well, there's no damsel, sir. She was a virgin.
It's so varied, too, for it was proclaimed virgin.
Well, if it were, I deny her virginity. I was taken with a Fromer.
This Fromer will
my
not serve your
gosh.
turn, sir.
This Fromer will serve my turn, sir.
Sir, I shall pronounce your sentence. You shall be written up, and you will be subjected to pastoral counseling.
I would rather pay a fine and go to the jail.
Fine. Don Armato shall be your keeper. Officer Dole, please see him delivered o'er, and go we, lords, to put in practice that which each to other hath so strongly sworn.
Sir, come on.
I suffer for the truth, sir. For it is true I was taken with Jacquinetta, and Jacquinetta is a true girl, and therefore I welcome this sour cup of prosperity.
We watch the shadows cross the ceiling. A bit too long now, the pain is healing. The car is ready and in the alley. The sirens shout, head for the valley. Look at all the mess we've made and all the
Ooh, someone likes you. Maud, what sign is it when a man of great spirit grows melancholy?
A great sign, sir, that he will look sad.
Why, sadness is one and the self-same thing, dear imp.
No, oh lord, sir, no.
How canst thou part sadness and melancholy, my tender juvenile?
By a familiar demonstration of the working, my tough signor.
Why tough signor? Why tough signor?
Why tender juvenile? Why tender juvenile?
I spoke a tender juvenile as a congruent epitheton appertaining to thy young days, which we may nominate tender.
And I, tough signor, as an appurtenant title to your old time, which we may name tough.
Pretty and apt. I've promised to study 3 years with the Duke. I do love that country girl that I took in the park with that rational hind costard. She deserves well.
To be whipped, and yet a better love than this idiot.
Sir, the Duke's pleasure is that you keep Castor safe from the jail, and you must suffer him to take no delight nor no penance, or you must talk to Seth Oldham, for this damsel she must keep to herself on the mall. There you will, I'll copy that. There you will.
I do betray myself with blushing. Maid,
Man,
I will visit thee in the lounge.
that's hereby.
I know where it is situate.
Lord, how wise you are.
I will tell thee wonders.
With that face?
I love thee,
So I heard you say.
and so farewell.
Fair weather after you.
Take away this villain, shut him up in the jail.
Come, you transgressor, away.
Let me not be pent up, sir.
Thou shalt to the jail.
I thank God I have as much patience as another man, and therefore I can be kept quiet.
No.
I do affect the very ground which is base, where her shoe which is baser, guided by her foot which is basest, doth tread. I shall be forsworn, which is a great argument of falsehood if I love. Love is a familiar. Love is a devil. There is no evil angel but love. Yet was Samson so tempted, and he had an excellent strength. Yet was Solomon so seduced, and he had a very good wit. Cupid's butt shaft is too hard for Hercules' club, and therefore too much odds for a Spaniard's rapier. Adieu, valor, roast rapier, be still, drum, for your manager is in love. Yea, he loveth. Oh, assist me some extemporal god of rhyme, for I am sure I shall turn sonnet. Devise wit, write pen, for I am for whole volumes in folio.
All men are sinners, check the mirror. We're going nowhere and getting nearer. I wish these farm roads were straight and steady. This bag of bankrolls is getting heavy.
Now, madam, summon up your dearest spirits. Yourself held precious in the world's esteem must parley with the sole inheritor of all perfections that a man may owe, matchless Navarre. The plea of no less weight than the return of our only pool cue. Be now as prodigal of all dear grace as nature was in making graces dear, when she did starve the general world besides and prodigally gave them all to you.
Good Lord, Boyette, my beauty though but me need not the painted flourish of your praise, but now to task the tasker. Good Boyette, you are not ignorant. All telling fame doth noise abroad, Navarre hath made a vow. Till painful study shall it wear 3 years, no woman may approach his silent court. To know his pleasure, tell him the R.A. of Gregory Dorm is on serious business, craving quick dispatch.
Proud of employment, willingly I go.
All pride is willing, pride in yours is so. Who are the votaries, my loving friends, that are vow fellows with his virtuous duke?
Lord Longueville is one.
Ooh, know you the man?
I know him, madame. At a marriage feast between James Peter and the beauteous Marie Elizabeth, solemnized last summer, saw I this young Longueville. Man of sovereign parts he's esteemed, well-fitted in arts, glorious in arms, although not a soy boy. Nothing becomes him ill that he would well. The only soil of his fair virtue's gloss, if virtue's gloss will stain with any soil, is a sharp wit matched with too blunt a will.
Some merry mocking lord belike, is it so?
They say so most, that most his humours know.
Such short-lived wits do wither as they grow. Who are the rest?
The young Dumaine, a well-accomplished youth, of all that virtue love, for virtue loved. Most power to do most harm, least knowing ill, for he hath wit to make an ill shape good, and shape to ingrace, though he had no wit. I saw him at a mill party once, and much too little of that good I saw, is my report to his great worthiness.
Another of these students at that time was there with him. A rugby guy who reads. Barone they call him, but a merrier man, within the limit of becoming mirth. I never spent an hour's talk with all. His eye begets occasion for his wit. For every object that the one doth catch, the other turns to a mirth-moving jest, which his fair tongue, conceit's expositor, delivers in such apt and gracious words that aged ears play truant at his tales, and younger freshmen are quite ravished. So sweet and voluble is his discourse.
God bless my ladies, are they all in love? Now, what admittance?
Mary, thus much I have learned. He rather means to meet you all out here than seek a dispensation for his oath to let you enter his unpeopled house.
Fair princess, welcome to the court of Navarre.
Fair, I give you back again, and welcome I have not yet.
You shall be welcome, madam, to my court.
I will be welcome then. Conduct me thither.
But hear me, dear lady, I have sworn an oath.
Our lady, help my lord, he'll be forsworn.
Not for the world, fair madam, by my will.
Why, will shall break it. Will and nothing else.
Your ladyship is ignorant what it is.
Were my lord so, his ignorance were wise, where now his knowledge must prove ignorance. I hear your grace has sworn out housekeeping. 'Tis deadly sin to keep that oath, my lord, and sin to break it. Oh, but pardon me, I am too sudden bold. To teach a teacher ill beseemeth me. Vouchsafe the purpose of my coming, and suddenly resolve me in my suit.
Madam, I will, if suddenly I may.
You will the sooner that I were away, for you'll prove perjured if you make me stay.
Did not I dance with you at Disney, Tidget?
Did not I dance with you at Disney, Tidget?
No, I know you did.
How needless was it then to ask the question?
You were too quick.
'Tis long of you that spurs me with such questions.
Your wit's too hot, speed's too fast, 'twill tire.
Not till it leave the rider in the mire.
Nay, then I will be gone.
You demand the return of the pool cues delivered by Amazon to our dorm, which you claim were wrongly delivered by printing and postal. You claim they should have been delivered to Gregory instead? I can assure you the cues delivered to our dorm were ordered by us and paid for by us. I cannot yield them to you. Dear princess, were not this request so far from reason's yielding? Your fair self should make a yielding against some reason in my breast, and go well satisfied to Greg again.
You do the printing and postal too much wrong, and wrong the reputation of your name, in so unseeming to confess receipt of that so faithfully paid for by us.
Were you to prove it, I'd yield up the cues.
We arrest your word. Boyette, you can produce such a sum from acquittances from the special officers of Amazon.
Satisfy me so.
So please your grace, the post office is closed. Where that and other specialties are bound, tomorrow you shall have sight of them.
It shall suffice me. At which interview tomorrow all liberal reason I will yield unto. You may not come, fair princess, within my gates, but here without you shall be so received as you shall deem yourself lodged in my heart, though so denied fair harbor in my house. Your own good thoughts excuse me, and farewell. Tomorrow shall we visit you again?
Sweet health and desires consort, your grace.
Thy own wish I thee in every place.
Lady, I will commend you to my own heart.
Pray you, do my commendations. I would be glad to see it.
How would you heard it groan?
Is the fool sick?
Sick at heart.
Alack, let it blood.
Would that do it good?
My physics says I.
But will you prick it with your eye?
Ne point, with my knife.
Now God save thy life.
And yours from long living.
I cannot stay. Thanksgiving.
Sir, I pray you a word. What major is that maid?
I believe. English, I'm afraid.
A gallant lady, monsieur, fare you well.
I beseech you a word. What is she in the white?
A woman sometimes, and you saw her in the light.
Perchance light in light. I desire her name.
Oh, but she hath but one for herself. To desire that were a shame.
I pray you, sir, whose daughter?
Her mother's, I have heard.
God's blessings on your beard.
Good sir, be not offended. She is a Doggerty.
A Doggerty? Nay, then my collar is ended. She is a most sweet lady.
Not unlike, sir, that may be.
What's her name without the cap?
Rosaline, by good hap.
Is she wedded or no?
To her will, sir, or so.
You are welcome, sir. Adieu.
Farewell to me, sir, and welcome to you.
Justice Barone. A very madcap lord. Not a word with him but a jest.
And every jest but a word.
It was well done of you to take him at his word.
If my observation, which very seldom lies, by the heart still rhetoric disclosed with the eyes, deceive me not now, Navarre is infected.
With what?
With that which we lovers entitle affected.
Your reason?
Why? All his behaviors did make the retire in the court of his eye, peeping thorough desire. His tongue, all impatient to speak and not see, did stumble with haste, and his eye said to be all senses to that sense did make the repair to feel only looking on fairest of fair. His face's own margin did quote such amazes that all I saw as enchanted with gazes. I'll give you Aquitaine and all that is his, and you give him for my sake the one loving kiss.
Come to our pavilion. Boyette is disposed.
You were too hard for me.
Sweet air, go tenderness of years, give enlargement to the swain, bring him fascinately hither. I must employ him in a letter to my love. When you were here before, you in the eye, just like but I'm agree. What the hell? Oh, house, Rakostad, I will enfranchise thee.
Oh?
I mean setting thee at liberty and freedoming thy person. Thou wert immured, restrained, captivated, bound.
True. True. And now you'll be my purgation, let me loose.
I give thee thy liberty, set thee free from durance, and in lieu thereof impose nothing but this. Give this enlargement to the country maid Jaquinetta. Here is remuneration. Follow.
Like the sequel, Senor Custard, adieu.
Now will I look to his remuneration. Remuneration. Oh, that's the Latin word for money. Remuneration. Remuneration. Remuneration.
My good knave Costard, exceedingly well met. Sir, do one thing for me that I shall entreat as thou wilt win my favor good, my knave.
When would you have it done, sir?
This afternoon.
Then I will do it. Fare you well.
Well, thou knowest not what it is.
I will know, sir, when I have done it.
Then thou must know first.
I will come to your worship tomorrow morning.
It must be done this afternoon. Hark, it is but this. The princess. She comes to drink a latte soon. And in her train, there is a most gentle lady. When tongues speak sweetly, they name her name. And Rosalind. They call her. Oh, she orders soy and coffee mixed in a mason jar. You ask for her, and see to her right hand thou do commend this sealed up counsel. Now go.
Remuneration?
Oh, yeah.
I go.
And I forsooth in love, I that had been love's whip, a very beetle to a humorous sigh, a critic, nay, a night watch constable, or domineering pedant, or the boy, than whom no mortal so magnificent. This wimpled, whining, purblind, wayward boy, this Senior Junior, giant dwarf, Dan Cupid, and I to be the corporal of his field, and wear his colors like a tumbler's hoop. What? I love, I sue, I seek a wife. And among three to love the worst of all. Oh, whitely wanton with a velvet brow and 2 pitchballs stuck in her face for eyes. And one that will do the deed, though Argus were a eunuch in her guard. And I to sigh for her, and to watch for her, and to pray for her. You can go to, it is a plague that Cupid will impose for my neglect of his almighty dreadful little might. Well, I will love. Write, sigh, pray, sue, and groan. Some men must love my lady, and some men Joan.
Here comes a member of the Commonwealth.
God dig you den all. I pray you, which is the highest lady here? The highest and the greatest.
The thickest and the tallest.
Oof, the thickest and the tallest. Truth is truth. It is so. Oh, and your waist, lady, were as slender as my wit. One of these ladies' girdles would be a fit. Are you not the chief? You're the thickest woman
What's
here.
your will, sir? What's your will?
I have a letter for Lady Rosalind.
Ooh, thy letter? Thy letter. He's a good friend of mine. Boy, yeah, you can carve.
I am bound to serve. This letter is mistook. It importeth none here. It is writ to Jaconetta.
We will read it.
By heaven, that thou art fair is most infallible. True that thou art beauteous, truth itself that thou art lovely. More fair than fair, beautiful than beauteous, truer than truth itself. Have commiseration on thy heroical vassal. The conclusion is victory. Shall I command thy love? I may. Shall I enforce thy love? I could. Shall I entreat thy love? I will. What shalt thou exchange for rags, robes, for titles, titles, for thyself, more? Thus expecting thy reply, I profane my lips on thy foot. My eyes on thy picture, and my heart on thy every part. Thine in the dearest design of industry, Don Adriano de Amado. This Armado is a Spanish exchange student, and one that makes sport to the prince and his bookmates.
Thou fellow, a word. Who gave thee this letter?
Why, I told you. My lord.
To whom shouldst thou give it?
From my lord to my lady.
From which lord to which lady?
From Lord Barone, a good master of mine, to a lady Rosalind he sends from France.
Thou hast mistaken this letter. Here, my sweet, put up this. 'Twill be thine another day.
Very reverend sport, truly, and done in the testimony of a good conscience.
Truly, Master Holofernes, the epithets are sweetly varied, like a scholar at the least.
You too a bookman? Can you tell me by your wish it was a month old at Cain's birth? It's not 5 weeks old as yet?
Dictina, Officer Dole. Dictina, Officer Dole.
What is Dictima?
A title to Phoebe? To Luna? To the moon?
The moon was but a month old when Adam was no more, and wrought not the 5 weeks when he came to 50. The illusion holds in the exchange.
'Tis true indeed, the collusion holds in the exchange.
God comfort thy capacity, I say the illusion holds in the exchange.
Sir, I praise the Lord for you.
I say the pollution holds in the exchange, for the moon is never but a month old.
A rare talent.
If a talent be a claw, look how she claws him with a talent. Yeah, hold your horses. We got a 1084 in Gorman.
Sir, you are a good member of the Commonwealth.
Try.
God give you good morrow, master's persons. Good master's person, be so good as read me this letter. It was given me by Costard and sent me by Don Armado. It is written in Latin. I beseech you, read it.
Under pardon, ma'am, what are the contents? Or rather, as Horace says in his What My Soul verses?
Aye, sir, and very learned.
Let me hear a staff, a stanza, a verse. Leggy Domine.
If love make me forsworn, how shall I swear to love? Though to myself forsworn, to thee I'll faithful prove. All ignorant that soul that sees thee without wonder, which is to me some praise that I thy parts admire. Thy eye Jove's lightning bears, thy voice is dreadful thunder, which not to anger bent is music and sweet fire. Celestial as thou art, oh, pardon love this wrong, that sings heaven's praise with such an earthly tongue.
You find not the apostrophis, and so miss the accent. Let me supervise the cancer. Here are only numbers ratified, but for the elegancy, facility, and golden cadence of poesy, correct. Oidus Naso was the man, and why indeed Naso, but for smelling out the odoriferous flowers of fancy, the jerks of invention. Imitari is nothing, so doth the hound his master, the ape his keeper, the tired horse his rider. But damosel a virgin.
Right.
Was this directed to you?
Aye, sir. Costard, the envelope.
I will overglance the superscript. To the snow-white hand of the most beauteous lady, Rosalind. On the nomination of the party writing to the person written unto, your ladyship's all desired employment, Barone. This Barone is one of the votaries with the king, and here he hath framed a letter to a sequent of the stranger queens, which accidentally, or by way of progression, hath miscarried. Ha ha! Trip and go, my sweet. Deliver this letter into the royal hand of the King of Teresa. It may concern much. Stay not thy compliment, I forgive thy duty. Adieu.
Good Costard, go with me.
Have with thee, my lady.
Ma'am, I do dine today at Lamberti's. If it shall please you to grace my table, I will undertake your benvenuto. I beseech your society.
And thanks to you too, for society, saith the text, is the happiness of life.
And certes the text most infallibly concludes it.
I love you more than any other. Darling dear, don't say I didn't try. We'll live forever, cross that great
I will not love. If I do, hang me. Faith, I will not. But her eye. Oh, if it weren't for her eye, I would not love her. But for her two eyes. Why do nothing in the world but lie in my throat? I love, and it has taught me to rhyme, and to be melancholy. So here is my rhyme, and here my melancholy. The lady hath one of my sonnets already. Clown bore it, the fool sent it, the lady hath it. Sweet clown, sweeter fool, sweetest lady. By the world, I wouldn't care a pin if the other three were in. Oh, look, you're with one with paper comes. God give him the grace to groan.
Ay me.
Shot by Cupid, sweet Cupid, proceed.
So sweet a kiss the golden sun gives not to those fresh morning drops upon the rose, as thy eye beams when their fresh rays have smote the night of dew that on my cheeks down flows. Nor shines the silver moon one half so bright through the transparent bosom of the deep, as doth thy face through tears of mine give light. Thou shinest in every tear that I do weep. No drop but as a coach doth carry thee, so ridest thou triumphing in my woe. Do but behold the tears that swell in me, and they thy glory through my grief will show. But do not love thyself, then thou wilt keep my tears for glasses, and still make me weep. O Queen of Queens, how far dost thou excel? No thought can think, nor tongue of mortal tell. What, Longaville? And reading? Listen, ear.
Now in thy likeness one more fool appear.
Ay me, I'm forsworn. Am I the first that have been perjured so?
I could put thee in comfort not by two that I know.
I fear these stubborn lines lack power to move. Oh, sweet Maria, empress of my love. No, these will I tear and write in prose. The same shall go. Did not the heavenly rhetoric of thine eye, against whom the world cannot hold argument, persuade my heart to this false perjury? Vows for thee broke deserve not punishment. A woman I forswore, but I will prove. Thou being a goddess, I forswore not thee. My vow was earthly, thou a heavenly love. Thy grace being gained cures all disgrace in me. Vows are but breath, and breath a vapor is. Then thou, fair sun, which on my earth dost shine, exhalest this vapor vow, in thee it is. If broken, then it is no fault of mine. If by me broke, what fool is not so wise to lose an oath to win a paradise? By whom shall I send this? Company, stay.
All hid, oh heavens, I have my wish. Dumain transformed, 4 woodcocks in a dish.
Oh, most divine Kate.
Oh, most profane coxcomb.
Oh, that I had my wish.
And I had
Mine too, good lord.
And so I had mine too.
Once more read the ode that I have writ.
Once more I'll mark how love can vary wit.
On a day, alack the day, love whose month is ever May, spied a blossom passing fair, playing in the wanton air. Through the velvet leaves the wind, all unseen can passage bend, that the lover, sick to death, wished himself the heaven's breath. Ere, quoth he, thy cheeks may blow, ere that I might triumph so. But, alack, my hand is sworn, ne'er to pluck thee from thy thorn. Vow, alack, for youth unmeet, youth so apt to pluck us sweet. Do not call it sin in me, that I am forsworn for thee.
Dumain, thy love is far from charity, that in love's grief desires society. You may look pale, but I should blush, I know, to be o'erheard and taken napping so.
Come, sir, you blush, as his case yours is such. You chided him, offending twice as much. You do not love Maria. Longaville did never sonnet for her sake compile, nor lay his wreathed arms athwart his loving bosom to keep down his heart. You would for paradise break faith and troth, and Jove for your love would infringe an oath. What will Barone say when that he shall hear such faith infringed which such zeal did swear? How will he scorn, how will he spend his wit, how will he triumph, leap, and laugh at it? For all the wealth that ever I did see, I would not have him know so much by me.
Now step I forth to whip hypocrisy. Oh, my good liege, I pray thee pardon me. But what special grace hast thou thus to reprove these worms for loving? Thou art most in love. Your eyes do make no coaches, but in your tears there's no certain princess that appears. But are you not ashamed, nay, are you not all three, to be thus much o'ershot? Oh, tell me, where lies thy grief, Dumain, and gentle Longaville, where lies thy pain? And my leashes, all about the breast, a caudal hoe.
Too bitter is thy jest. Are we betrayed thus to thy overview?
Not I by you, but you by me. I who hold it am honest and hold it a sin to break the vow I am engaged in. I am betrayed by keeping company with men like you, men of inconstancy. When would you hear of me writing a thing in rhyme, or groaning for Joan, or spend a minute's time in pruning me? When would you hear that I praise a hand, a foot, a mouth, a face, a smile, a leg, a limb?
God bless the king.
What present hast thou there?
Some certain treason.
What makes treason here?
I beseech your grace, let this letter be read. Our person misdoubts it. 'Twas treason, he said.
Barone, read it o'er. Where hadst thou it?
Of Don Adramatio. Don Adramatio.
How now? What is in you? Why dost thou tear it?
Thou needst not fear it. A toy, my liege, a toy. No fear, no fear.
It did move him to passion, and therefore let's hear it.
It is Barone's handwriting, and here's his name.
Well, guilty, my lord, guilty. I confess. Dismiss the audience, and I will tell you more.
Now the number is even.
True. We are 4. Will these turtles be gone?
Hence, sirs, away.
Let the true walk along the true folk, and let the traitors stay.
Bye.
Sweet lords, sweet lovers, we cannot cross the cause why we were born. Therefore, with all of our hands, let us be forsworn.
What? Did those rent lines show some love of thine?
Did he not quoth you, who sees the heavenly Rosaline that isn't blinded by her majesty?
What zeal, what fury hath inspired thee now? Oh, are we not all in love?
Not being so sure, and thereby all forsworn.
Well then, good Barone, prove our loving lawful, and our faith not torn.
Oh, some authority how to proceed. Some tricks, some quillets, how to cheat the devil.
Some solve for perjury.
Consider first what you did swear unto. That's to fast, to study, and to see no ladies. Flat treason against the kingly state of youth. For when would you, my lord, or you have found the ground of study's excellence without the beauty of a woman's face? From women's eyes this doctrine I derive. They are the grounds, the books, the academies, from whence doth spring that true Promethean fire. A lover's eyes, they could gaze an eagle blind. A lover's ear can hear the lowest sound. For valor, is not love a Hercules? When love speaks, the voice of the gods make heaven drowsy with their harmony. From women's eyes, this doctrine I derive. They are the books, the arts, the academies, from whence that show, contain, and nourish all the world. So fools you were, these women to forswear, or in keeping what is sworn you will prove fools. For wisdom's sake, a word that all men love. Or for love's sake, a word that loves all men. Or for men's sake, the author of these women. Or for women's sake, by whom we are men, we must at once loose our oaths to bind ourselves, or else we will lose ourselves to keep our oaths.
Saint Cupid, then, and soldiers to the field!
Down with them, advance your standards, Lord, pell-mell with the field.
Now to plain dealing, lay these glosses by. Shall we resolve to woo these girls of Greg?
And win them too. Therefore, let us devise some entertainment for them in their rooms.
Yes.
In the afternoon, we will with some strange pastime solace them, such as the shortness of time can shape. Let's go to Raj and buy some food. I hear that's the way that women are wooed.
Away, away!
Yes.
To blame it, ain't it pretty? Babe, damn what the people say. Honey, I'm here to stay. If not today, hang in there, babe.
Satis quid suvagi.
Sir, I thank the Lord for you. For your reasons at dinner have been sharp and sententious, pleasant without scurrility, witty without affection, audacious without impunity, learned without opinion, and strange without heresy. I did converse this quondam day with a member of the king who is intituled, nominated, or called Don Adriano de Armado.
Novi hominem tamquam te. His humor is lofty, his discourse peremptory, his tongue filed, his eye ambitious, his gait majestical, and his general appearance vain, ridiculous, and thrasonical.
A singular and most choice epithet?
He draweth out the thread of his verbosity finer than the staple of his argument. I abhor such fanatical fantasy, and such insociable and point-devised companions, such rackers of orthography. It insinuateth me of insini, ne intelligis domine, to make frantic, lunatic.
Satis quid sufficit.
Video et go deo.
Men of peace, well encountered.
Most military, sir. Salutation.
They have been at a great feast of languages and stolen the scraps.
Oh, they've lived long on the alms basket of words. I marvel they haven't eaten thee for a word, for thou art not so long at the head as honorificabilit tudinit tatabus. Thou art easier swallowed than a flapdragon.
Peace. The field begins.
Sir, the king is a noble gentleman, and my familiar, I do assure you, very good friend. But the very all of all is, but I do implore secrecy, that the king would have me present the princess Sweet Chuck with some delightful ostentation, or show, or tuck-in. I have acquainted your assistant, I have acquainted you with all to crave your assistance.
Sir, you shall present before her the 9 worthies. Margaret, as concerning some entertainment of time, I say none so fit as to present the 9 worthies.
Where will you find men worthy enough to present them? Get it?
Joshua yourself, this gallant gentleman, Judas Maccabeus, this swain because of his great limb or joint shall pass Pompey the Great, the page Hercules.
Pardon, sir, error. She is not quantity enough for that worthy's tongue. She is not so big as the end of his club.
Shall I have audience? She will present Hercules in minority. Her entrance and exit shall be strangling a snake, and I will have an apology for that purpose.
For the rest of the worthies?
I will play 3 myself.
Allons, your sport away.
Sweethearts, we shall be rich ere we depart. Look you what I have from the loving king.
Madam, came nothing else along with that?
Nothing but this? Yes. As much love and rhyme as would be writ on both sheet of the paper, margin and all, that he was fain to seal on Cupid's name. But, Rosaline, you have a favor too. Who sent it? And what is it?
I would you knew.
Oh.
Nay, I have verses 2, I think, Barone. The numbering true. And were the numbers too. I were the fairest goddess on the ground. I am compared to 20,000 fair, so he hath drawn my picture in his letter.
Anything like?
Much in the letters, nothing in the praise. So, Catherine, what was sent to you from fair Dumaine?
Madam, these.
Oh.
Is that all?
No, madam. And moreover, some 1,000 verses of the faithful lover. A huge translation of hypocrisy, vilely compiled, profound simplicity.
This, and these pearls, to me sent Longville. The letter is too long by half a mile.
I think no less. Dost thou not wish in heart the chain were longer and the letter short?
Aye, or I would these hands might never part.
We are wise girls to mock our lovers so.
They are worse fools to purchase mocking so. That same Barone I'll torture ere I go. Oh, that I knew he were but in by the week, how I would make him fawn and beg and seek, and wait the season, and observe the times, and spend his prodigal wits and bootless rhymes, and shape his service wholly to my hest, and make him proud to make me proud that jests. So Pertot-like would I o'ersway his state, that he should be my fool, and I his fate.
None are so surely caught when they are catched as wit turned
The
fool.
blood of youth burns not with such excess as gravity's revolt to wantonness.
Folly in fools bears not so strong a note as foolery in the wise, when wit doth dote, since all the power thereof doth apply to prove by wit worth in simplicity.
Here comes Boyette and mirth in his face.
Oh, I am stabbed with laughter. Where's her grace?
Thy news, Boyette?
Prepare, madam, prepare. Arm, wenches, arm! Encounters mounted are against your peace, loved with approach, disguised. Armed in arguments you'll be surprised. Muster your wits, stand on your own defense, or hide your heads like cowards and fly hence!
St. Dennis to St. Cupid, what are they that charge their breath against us? Say, Scout, say.
King and his companions. By and by, disguised they will be here.
But what? What? Come they to visit us?
They do. I believe it is called a tuck-in, and they are apparelled thus, as Muscovites or Russians, as I guess. Their purpose, to parley, to court, and dance, and every one his love he will advance, unto his several mistress, which they'll know by favor several which they did bestow.
And will they so? The gallant shall be tasked. For ladies, we will everyone be masked, and not a man of them shall have the grace, despite of suit, to see a lady's face. Hold, Rosalind, this favor thou shalt wear, and then the king will court thee for his dear. Hold, Rosalind, take thou this, and give me thine. So shall Baron take me for Rosaline. You change favors too, so shall your loves woo contrary, deceived by these removes.
Come on then, where the favors most in sight.
But in this changing, what is your intent?
The effect of my intent is to cross theirs. They do it but in mockery merriment, and mock for mock is my only intent.
But shall we dance if they desire us to it?
No. To the death we will not move a foot, nor to their pen speech render we no grace. But while 'tis spoke, each turn away her face. There's no such sport as sport by sport overthrown, to make theirs ours, and ours none but our own.
The trumpet sounds. Be masked. The maskers come.
1, 2, 3, 4.
All hail the richest beauty on the earth!
What would these strangers know their minds, Boyette? If they do speak our language, 'tis our will that some plain man recount their purposes. Know what they would.
What would you with the princess?
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
Nothing but peace and gentle visitation.
Why, that they have, and bid them so be gone.
She says you have it, and you may be gone.
Tell her we have measured many miles to try to measure with her in this room.
They say they've tread many a mile to tread a measure with you in this room.
Tell her we measure them by weary steps.
She hears herself.
How many weary steps of many weary miles you have are gone, are numbered in the travel of 1 mile.
Oh ho ho, windows matter nothing that we spend for you, vouchsafe to show that the sunshine of your face, that we like savages may worship it.
My face is but a moon, and clouded too.
Blessed are clouds to do as such clouds do.
Play music then, nay, you must do it soon. No dance. No dance. Thus change I like the moon.
Will you not dance? How come you thus estranged?
You took the moon at full, but now she's changed.
If you deny to dance, let's hold more chat.
In private, then?
I am best pleased with that.
White-handed mistress, one sweet word with thee.
Honey and milk and sugar. There's 3.
One word in private.
Let it not be sweet.
Oh, thou grievest my gall.
Gall? Bitter.
Therefore meet.
Will you vouchsafe with me to change a word?
Name it.
Fair lady.
Say you so, fair lord. Take that for your fair lady.
Please it you, as much in private, and I'll bid adieu.
What? Was your vision made without a tongue?
I know the reason, lady, why you ask.
Oh, for your reason. Quickly, sir, I long.
You have a double tongue within your mask, and would afford my speechless wizard half.
No, I'll not be your half.
Look how you butt yourselves in these sharp knocks. Will you give horns, chaste lady? Do not so.
Then die a calf before your horns do grow.
One more word with you in private, ere I die.
Bleat softly then. The butcher hears you cry.
Tongues of mocking wenches are as keen as is the razor's edge invisible.
Not one more word, my maids. Break off. Break off.
20 dues, my frozen muscovits. Are these the breed of wits so wondered at?
But will you hear? The king is my love sworn.
And quick Barone hath plighted faith to me.
And Longueville is for my service born.
Dumaine is mine as sure as bark on tree.
Will they return?
They will, God knows, and leap for joy that they are lame with blows. Therefore, change favors, and when they repair, blow like sweet roses in the summer air.
Madam, if by me you'll be advised, let's mock them still, as well known as disguised.
Ladies, the gallants are at hand.
All hail, sweet madam, and fair time of day.
Fair and all hail as foul as I conceive.
Construe my speeches better, if you may.
Then wish me better, I will give you leave.
We came to visit you, and purpose now to lead you to our court. Vouchsafe it, then.
This field shall hold me, and so hold your vow, nor God nor I delights in perjured men.
Rebuke me not for that which you provoke. The virtue of your eye must break my oath.
You nickname virtue? Vice you should have spoke, for virtue's office never breaks men's troth.
Oh, you have lived in desolation here, unseen, unvisited, much to our shame.
Not so, my lord. It is not so, I swear. We have had many pleasant game and pastime here. A mess of Russians left us but of late.
How, madam? Russians?
Aye, in truth, my lord. Trim gallants full of courtship and of state.
Madam, speak true. It is not so, my lord. We four indeed confronted were with four in Russian habit. Here they stayed an hour and talked apace. But in that hour, my lord, they did not bless us with one happy word. I dare not call them fools, but this I think. When they are thirsty, fools would fain have drink.
This jest is dry to me. Gentle sweet, your wits make wise things foolish. When we greet with eyes best seen, heaven's fiery eye, by light we lose light. Your capacity is of that nature that to your huge store wise things seem foolish, and rich things but poor.
Well, this proves you wise and rich, for in my eye.
I am a fool and full of poverty.
But that you take what doth to you belong, it were a fault to snatch words from my tongue.
Oh, I am yours and all that I possess.
All the fool mine?
I cannot give you less.
Which of the wizards was it that you wore?
What? Where? What? What wizard?
There! Then! That wizard! That superfluous case that hid the worse and showed the better face.
We were descried, they'll mock us now downright.
Let us confess and turn it to a jest.
Amazed, my lord? Why looks your highness sad?
How pulled his brows, he'll swoon. Why look you pale? Oh, seasick, I think, coming from Muscovy.
Must pour the stars down. Plagues for perjury. Can any face of brass hold longer out? Here stand I, lady. Dart thy skill at me. Bruise me with scorn. Confound me with a flout. Thrust thy quick wit quite through my ignorance. Cut me to pieces with thy keen conceit, and I will wish thee never more to dance, nor never more in Russian habit wait. Nor never will I trust the speeches penned
nor to the motion of a schoolboy's tongue, nor nevermore will I come in vizard to my friend, nor woo in rhyme like a blind harper's song. Oh, taffeta phrases, silken terms precise, three-piled hyperbole, spruce affectation, figures pedantical, these flies have blown me full of maggot ostentation. I do forswear them, and here I protest, by this white glove, how white the hand, God knows. Henceforth my wooing shall be expressed in russet yeas and honest kersey nose. And wench, so God help me law, my love to thee is sound, sans cracker flaw.
Sans? I pray you.
Yet I still bear a trick of the old rage. Bear with me. I will leave it by degrees. Right? Lord, have mercy on these three. They are sick, in their hearts it lies. They have the plague, and they caught it of your eyes. Our estates are forfeit. Seek not to undo us.
It is not so! For how can this be true that you stand forfeit, being those that sue?
Peace, for I will have nothing more to do with you.
Nor shall not, if I do as I intend.
Speak for yourselves, my wit is at an end.
Teach us, sweet madam, for our rude transgression some fair excuse.
The fairest is confession. Were not you here but even now disguise?
Madam, I was.
And were you well advised?
I was, fair madam.
When you were here, what did you whisper in your lady's ear?
That more than all the world I did respect her.
When she shall challenge this, you will reject her.
Upon mine honor, no.
Peace, forbear. Your oath once broke, you force not to forswear.
Despise me when I break this oath of mine.
I will, and therefore keep it. Rosalind, what did this Russian whisper in your ear?
Madam, he swore that he did hold me dear as precious eyesight, and did value me above this world, adding one more thing, that from him I would get that ring by spring.
God give thee joy of him. The noble lord must honorably doth uphold his word.
What mean you, madam? By my life, by my troth, I never swore this lady such an oath.
By heaven, you did.
My faith in this the princess. I knew her by that jewel on your sleeve.
Pardon me, sir, this jewel did she wear. And Lord Barone, I thank him as my dear.
I see the trick on it. Here was a consent knowing aforehand of our merriment to dash it like a Christmas comedy. The ladies did change favors, and then we, following the signs, but wooed the sign of she. Now to our perjury, to add more terror, we are again forsworn in will and error. Good. Oh, welcome, pure wit. Now partest the fair fray.
O Lord, they ask whether the worthies should come in or no.
Are there but three?
No, sir, very fine. Everyone presents three.
Are you one of them?
It pleased them to think me worthy of Pompey the Great. We will turn it finally off, sir. We will take some care.
Barone, they will shame us. Let them not approach.
We are shame-proof, my lord. And it is some policy to have one show worse than the king's and his companies.
I say they shall not come.
Nay, my lord, let me overrule you now. That sport best pleases that doth least know how. Let us go to the lounge.
Anointed, I implore so much expense of thy royal sweet breath as will utter a brace of words. We present the 9 worthies talking. Here is your program.
Here is likely to be a good presence of worthies. He presents Hector of Troy, Costard, Pompey the Great, Margaret, Alexander, Mott, Hercules, and Holofernes, Judas Maccabeus.
Here comes Pompey!
Pompey, am I Pompey, am Pompey the Big.
The Great.
It is great. I, Pompey, surnamed the Great, that often field with targe and shield, did make my foe to swate, and traveling along this coast by chance, I lay my arms before the legs of this sweet lass of France. If your ladyship would say, thanks, Pompey, I had done.
Great thanks, great Pompey.
'Tis not worth so much. I hope I was perfect. I made a little fault in great.
My hat to a halfpenny. Pompey proves the best worthy.
Here comes Alexander.
When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander. By east, west, north, and south, I spread my conquering might. My scutcheon hath plain declared that I am Alexander.
Your nose says no, you are not, for it stands to right.
My nose smells no in this most tender-smelling night.
The conqueror is dismayed. Proceed, good Alexander.
When in the world I lived, I was the world's commander.
Most true. 'Tis right you were so, Alexander.
Take away the conqueror. Take her away. Bring back Pompey.
Ho, Alexander, for shame! Thou hast overthrown the conqueror. A conqueror? And too afraid to speak? Begone for shame, Alexander. 'Tis a marvelous neighbor, faith, and a very good bowler, but alas for Alexander, to see how a little overparted. But there are more worthies a-coming that will speak their mind in some other sort.
Here comes Hercules.
Great Hercules is presented by this imp, whose club killed Cerberus, that three-headed Carnus, and when he was a babe, a child, a shrimp, thus did he strangle serpents in his manus. Quoniam she seemeth in minority, ergo I come this apology. Keep some state in thy exit and vanish.
Here comes Judas Maccabeus.
Judas, I am.
Judas.
Not Iscariot, sir. Judas, I am, yclept Maccabeus.
Judas Maccabeus clipped is plain Judas.
A kissing traitor. How art thou proved, Judas?
Judas, I am.
The more shame for you, Judas.
What mean you, sir?
To make Judas hang himself.
Begin, sir. You are my elder.
This follows. Judas was hanged on an elder.
I will not be put out of countenance.
Because thou hast no face?
What is this?
A cittern head.
The head of a bodkin.
Death's face in a ring, and now forward, for we have put thee in countenance.
Put me out of countenance.
No, we've given thee faces.
You have outfaced them all.
And thou wert a lion.
And therefore, as he is an ass, let him go. And so adieu, sweet Jude. Nay, why dost thou stay?
For the latter end of his name.
For the ass to the Jude. Judas! Away!
generous, not gentle, not humble.
Alas, poor Maccabeus, how hath he been baited?
Here comes Hector! Hide thy head, Achilles. Here comes Hector in arms.
The army-potent Mars, of lances the Almighty, gave Hector a gift, the air.
A gilt nutmeg.
A lemon.
Stuck with cloves.
No, cloven.
Peace! Peace! The army-potent Mars, of lances the Almighty, gave Hector a gift, the heir of Ilion, a man so breathed that sure he would fight ye, from morn until night, out of his pavilion. I am that flower.
That mint.
That columbine.
Sweet Lord Longaville, rein thy tongue.
I must rather give it rain, for it runs against Hector.
Aye, and Hector's a great hound.
The sweet war man is dead and rotten. Sweet chucks beat not the bones of the buried, for when he breathed, he was a man. But I will forward with my device. Sweet royalty, bestow on me the sense of healing.
Speak, brave Hector, we are much delighted.
This Hector far surmounted Hannibal. The party is gone.
Fellow Hector, she is gone. She's 2 months on her way.
What meanest thou?
Faith, unless thee plays the honest Troyan, the poor wench is cast away. She is quick. The child brags in her belly already. 'Tis yours.
Dost thou infamonize me among potentates? Thou shalt die!
Then shall Hector be whipped for Jaquinetta that is quick by him, and hanged for Pompey that is dead by him?
Most rare Pompey.
Renowned Pompey.
Greater than great Pompey. Pompey the huge.
By the North Pole, I do challenge thee.
I'll not fight with a pole like a northern man. I'll slash. I'll do it by the sword. I pray you, let me take up my arms again.
Room for the incensed worthies.
I'll do it in my shirt.
Most resolute Pompey. Fight, 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 fight,
Fight, fight, fight, fight, fight, fight, fight, fight, fight,
fight.
God save you, madam.
Welcome, Officer Dole, but, thou interruptest our merriment.
I am sorry, madam, the news I bring is heavy on my tongue. The king, your father,
dead for my life.
Even so, my tale is told.
Worthies away. The scene begins to cloud.
How fares your majesty?
I will away tonight. I thank you, gracious lords.
The extreme parts of time extremely forms all causes to the purpose of his speed. Let not the cloud of sorrow jostle it from what it purposed, since to wail friends lost is not by much so wholesome profitable as to rejoice in friends but newly found.
I understand you not. My griefs are double.
Honest, plain words best pierce the ear of grief. Our love being yours, the heir that love makes, is likewise yours, by being false forever to what makes us both true. Fair ladies, you. And even that falsehood, in itself a sin, doth purify and make us better.
We have received your letters full of love. Your favors? The ambassadors of love? And in our maiden council rated them at courtship, pleasant jest and courtesy, as bombast and as lining to the time. But more devout than this, in our respects, have we not been. And therefore took your favors in their own fashion, like a merriment.
Our letters, madame, showed much more than jest.
So did our looks.
We did not quote them so.
Now, at the latest minute of the hour, grant us your loves.
A time methinks too short to make a world without end bargain in. No. No, my lord, your grace is perjured much, full of dear guiltiness, and therefore this. If for my love, as there is no such cause, you will do aught, this shall you do for me. Your oath I will not trust. But go to some naked, forlorn hermitage, remote from all the pleasures of the world. There stay until the 12 celestial signs have brought about the annual reckoning. If this austere and sociable life change not your offer made in heat of blood, if frost and fast, hard lodging and thin weeds nip not the gaudy blossoms of your love, but that it bear this trial and last love, then at the expiration of a year come challenge me. Challenge me by these deserts, I will be thine. Until that instant, shut my woeful self up in the mourning house, raining the tears of lamentation for the remembrance of my father's death. If this thou do deny, let our hands part, neither entitled in the other's heart.
If this or more than this I do deny, the sudden hand of death close up mine eye. Hence, hermit then, my heart is in thy breast.
But what to me, my love? But what to me?
A beard, fair health, and honesty. With threefold love I wish you all these three.
Oh, shall I say, I thank you, gentle wife?
No, not so, my lord. A 12-month and a day, I'll mark no words that smooth-faced wooers say. Come to me, when the king doth to my lady come. Then, if I have much love, I'll give you some.
I'll serve thee true and faithfully till then.
Yet swear not, lest you be forsworn again.
What says Maria?
At the 12 months' end, I will change my black gown for a faithful friend.
I'll stay with patience, but the time is long.
The like are you, few taller are so young.
Studies, my lady? Mistress, look on me, behold the window to my heart, mine eye. What humble suit attends thy answer there? Impose some service on me for thy love.
Oft have I heard of you, my lord Baron, before I saw you. And the world's large tongue proclaims you for a man replete with mocks, full of comparisons and wounding flouts, which you on all estates will execute that lie within the mercy of your wit. To weed this wormwood from your fruitful brain, and therewithal to win me, if you please, without the which I am not to be won, you shall this 12-month term from day to day visit the speechless sick, and still converse with groaning wretches, and your task shall be with all the fierce endeavor of your wit to enforce the pained impotent to smile.
To move to wild laughter in the throat of death. It cannot be. It is impossible. Mirth cannot move a soul in agony.
Why, that's the way to choke a jibing spirit whose influence is begot of that loose grace which shallow laughing hearers give to fools. A jest's prosperity lies in the ear of him that hears it, never in the tongue of him that makes it. Then if sickly ears, deaf with the clamors of their own dear groans, will hear your idle scorns, continue them, and I will have you in that fault withal. But if they will not, throw away that spirit, and I will find you, empty of that fault, right joyful of your reformation.
A 12-month? Well, befall what will befall. I'll just a 12-month in a hospital.
Aye, sweet my lord, and so I take my leave.
No, we will bring you on your way.
Our wooing doth not end like an old play. Jack hath not Jill. These ladies, they could have well made this sport a comedy.
Come, it wants a 12-month and a day, then it will end.
That's too long for a play.
Sweet Majesty, vouchsafe me.
Was not that Hector?
The worthy knight of Troy.
I will kiss thy royal finger and take leave. I am a votary. I have vowed to Jacquinetta to hold the plough for her sweet love 3 years. But most esteemed greatness, will you hear the dialogue that the two learned men have compiled in praise of the owl and the cuckoo? It should have followed the end of our show.
Call them forth quickly. We will do so.
Hola, approach. This side is James, winter. This Ver, the spring. The one maintained by the owl, the other the cuckoo. Ver, begin.
When daisies pied and violets blew, and lady smocks all silver white, the cuckoo buds of yellow hue paint the meadows with delight. But when the daffodils bloom, and the ladies start to swoon, the cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he, cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Oh, word of fear, oh, word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear. When shepherds pipe on straws, and merry larks are ploughmen's clocks, when turtles tread and rooks and daws, and the maidens bleach their summer smocks. But when the daffodils bloom, and the ladies start to swoon, the cuckoo then on every tree mocks married men, for thus sings he, cuckoo, 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 cuckoo. Oh, word of fear, oh, word of fear, unpleasing to a married ear.
When icicles hang by the wall, and Dick the shepherd blows his nail, and Tom bears logs into the hall, and milk comes frozen home in a pail. When blood is nipped and ways be foul, the nightly sings the staring owl, to wit to woo a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot. When all aloud the wind doth blow, and coughing drowns the parson's saw, and birds sit brooding in the snow, and Marion's nose looks red and raw. When roasted crabs hiss in the bowl, the nightly sings a staring owl, to wit to woo a merry note, while greasy Joan doth keel the pot.
The words of Mercury are harsh after the songs of Apollo. You that way, we this way.
When I've done my work of day, and I row my boat away between the waters of Loch Tay, as the evening light is fading, and I look upon Ben Lars, where the afterglory glows, and I think on two bright eyes and the melting hours below. She's my beauteous neon rue, my joy and sorrow too, and although she is untrue, well, I cannot live without her, for my heart's a boat in tow, and I'd give the world to know why she means to let me go, as I sing Hurry-Hurrow. Neon Rue, your lovely hair has more glamour, I declare, than all the tresses rare between